while we're waiting for a couple of more minutes. Would love to understand your expectations from this session. Let's do a small round of introductions, and we can tell our name and then what we're expecting from the session. So I'm Chelsea Dean, and I'm the curriculum head at TomoClub. And yeah, I'm here with you guys. So anyone who would want to take the initiative to go first can go ahead.
I'm Matt. I'm with TomoClub, and what I expect today, I came here because I really want to hear what Pam has to say about being able to use, to equip teachers to use SEL. It's something that's so critical, and every educator knows this. And Pam has seen educators put those things into practice in practical ways. And we hear educators asking us, how do I do this? How do I do this? And so just to have Pam be able to speak up as a voice and speak to that is what my expectation is.
Right on, Matthew. So I will go next. My name is Pam McNall. I am with Respectful Ways. I'm the founder and CEO of Respectful Ways. We're a trauma-informed social emotional learning curriculum for pre-K through 12th grade. And somehow we're finding ourselves dipping into adults by way of some nonprofits that have jumped on that need. There are many young parents who haven't learned social skills and emotional intelligence on raising their itty bitty kiddos. And so, we, by trauma informed, that means everyone feels comfortable and safe to learn respectful ways. And what I hope to get out of this is some gaming skills. And I also just love the experience of the unity of coming together through a gaming experience. It was unique the first time I did it, and I'm looking forward to experiencing it a second time. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm sure kiddos feel the same way. Like that first time was sort of like, I'm not sure. And then it's just going to be like, no holding back, right? I'm Pam.
Hey, hi everybody, I'll go next. I am Rachi, and sorry, I was just not ready to turn the camera on, so I'm going to stay like this, sorry. I have been working in the space of alternate education, maker education for the past 5-6 years. And I started with setting up some open innovation spaces in India called Adult Thinking Labs. And then I also worked on researching on assessment tools in these maker spaces with a lab at MIT called the Playful Journey Lab. And currently, I then made a little bit of shift from STEM-based education to holistic development of children. So right now I'm working as the head of pedagogy at an Indian startup, which focuses on holistic education. So social emotional learning is one of the parts of we categorize holistic learning in 5 parts, and social emotional is one of those. So I'm looking forward to understanding and exploring that segment more, because I truly understand how important it is.
Rashi, would you mind putting in the chat the name of the company you work for, the name of the organization?
Yes, definitely. Will do.
I'll do the same. It's good for people to know, right?
The floor is open. Love if everyone could introduce themselves. Thank you, Rashi, Pam, and Matt for introducing yourselves. Yeah.
I'll quickly go. So I'm Sai. I'm with TomoClub. I'm the head game designer. So all the games and all the interactions, that we'll be doing. That's me and my team behind all of this. And what I'm trying to learn from this game is, how can I make our games, a lot more meaningful, and understanding your experiences as a player and also as an educator. So that's what I'm here. I'll be a silent spectator. I'll be making notes on these things. Thank you. All the best.
So I'll go next. Hello, everyone. I'm Anshu Shah. I'm a final year doctoral student. So I'm really interested in understanding how can games help us understand the socio-emotional learning of a child, because a lot of the conversation that happens in the research atmosphere, at least, is that it to have technology try and capture that is often a challenge. And so I would really like to understand, how does that happen based on the kind of games we play and the conversations we have in this particular sphere.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I'll go quickly next. So I think my main agenda of this session is to understand the main reason why people sticks in a job and excel in life. So a lot of times we have understood the reason for success have been around the social skills and the emotional skills, how well you work together in a team, how well you are able to express your requirements. So I'm coming from that perspective, and I think, yeah, very excited to share and see everyone's opinion on the same, the importance of these skills. So I'll quickly pass on the baton and I'll ask Soumya to introduce herself. Let's quickly do that so that we can get on the session also.
Hi. Hello. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, this is Dr. Soumya. I'm I've been in this space since about 8 years now. And I've done my doctorate in management, marketing, research, doing research, branding, marketing. And, all of this is my forte. And I'm working with a company called Seco, is primarily into EdTech. It's an EdTech platform, an upskilling platform that bridges the gap between your actual skills and your dream job. And we are also working on a gaming platform. We are developing pockets, particularly a gaming platform wherein students from all areas, as in the universities and the K-12 schools, can come participate. It's a gaming platform, and they can engage and grow. So I'm looking forward to basically understand what TomoClub is, what the gaming experience holds for all the students, and how they can interact, with and engage with the students right here. Thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. Kimberly, you want to go next and quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Shepard. I'm an adaptive physical education teacher in the Carson City School District. I've been a practitioner for 24 years. I'm currently the president-elect for Nevada SHAPE, which is the Society for Health and Physical Education for the state of Nevada. I've also been working on the health standards. I've been writing the new standards and curriculum for the state of Nevada. So my thing is because I'm a practitioner, because I'm teaching, and I teach at the high school, both middle schools, 5 elementaries, and I also teach early intervention. I think the biggest thing is for social and emotional learning is that connect with the student. You actually have to dive deep into the personal connection, and actually for the teacher, it's all about just being there, showing up and delivering that connection. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what your program is. That's why I'm here, to learn a little bit more about it. But with the state of Nevada, we have included SEL standards to go into effect. Right now, I'm also on the National Board for Health Standards, and we have put in national standards for SEL. So just here to learn a little bit more about what you have to offer, what your perspective, how you think SEL should be projected towards students ages 3 to 21.
Yeah, we
Was
have Samir who has raised his hand. Sorry, Matt, you were saying something. But Samir has raised his hand like a good student for some reason. But yeah, thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do the video. There's some issue with my computer. It's not letting me turn on the camera, but I apologize for that. So, my name is Samir Moreshwar. I live in Portland, Maine. I'm currently on the bench. I don't have a job. I just got laid off from my company. Um I'm a first-time parent of a beautiful 4-year-old daughter. I'm not from the education industry, but while I was with my earlier company, which is Cognizant Technology Solutions, I was actually looking for partnerships with companies like yourself, like TomoClub and others. I even spoke to 3 of them. And I seriously felt that in today's era, when it's a fast-paced life, both the parents have to be working to catch up with the expenses and savings for your kids' future education. It's important that there has to be some online education platform like the Tomo Club. And I was actually interested in seeing if any of you is interested in partnering with Cognizant, because Cognizant and many IT service companies, they have their internal marketplace where they can put uh, companies like you and market that, hey, this is a good way to teach your kid while you're attending your meeting. A very simple thought. But unfortunately, I'm not with that company anymore. But I was still interested in knowing, like, how can gaming really enhance my kids' skills? Uh, the only downside is that I'm trying to avoid screen time for my daughter. So then
Yeah.
including gaming would increase the screen time. So I was interested in knowing how do we handle this issue. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll lower my hand.
Samir, Samir, thank you so much for bringing that up. It's something that's front of mind. As a matter of fact, you'll see right here, I have 2 phones. I have 2 laptops. None of these are mine. Okay, so monitoring screen time is something that is near and dear to all parents' heart who are trying to navigate these waters. The wonderful thing about what Tomo Club has to offer is there's a difference between wasting your time on screen time and screen time that has value. And so with Tomo Club, the value that I have seen, and all of you parents and educators have the same heart that I do. I want my kids to learn and grow and prosper. And so I'm always regulating screen time. With Tomo Club, it's 1 hour of screen time where your children are going to encounter loving faces like Chelsea and our moderators and our team who are going to interact those kids, find out how they're doing, and then give them scaffolding to understand one concept that we're going to teach them in an hour, where they get to play a game that teaches them one primary concept, but also a lot of other life skills, how to have empathy. So during that hour, a teacher is going to teach them, but they're also going to play a game with their friends in successive rounds so that they're able to experience what we're trying to, the life situation that we're trying to put them in. And so you'll experience that in the gameplay. Screen time, what I will challenge you, all parents and educators, and say this, to try and fight the next generation on screen time. And this is my opinion as a parent, not as a Tomo Club representative. It is fighting. It's like standing at the edge of the ocean and screaming at the tide. Screen time, that ship has sailed. They're gonna we to say let's limit screen time. They're gonna find workarounds. Okay, that's kids' jobs. That's literally their job. And so it's more learning to teaching them to navigate those things. But Tomo Club is one of the only hours that my kids spend every week that I feel is totally redeemable because of how they come out of it. And so I don't want to bore you guys to death with that. I just wanted to be able to communicate to you so kind of clearly what we do. Our game plan and our mission is to get 10 to 12 kids together and have them play in a safe environment where they can test out their and learn new life skills and new ways to communicate and collaborate and innovate and be a leader. Realize that being a leader isn't just running your mouth all over the time. These kind of things are what TomoClub is designed to create, and also a platform where me as a parent and you as an educator can be as involved as you want, but also get a full report of what happened of the gameplay, where you're like, oh my gosh, my student just grew. Wow, that was amazing. and as an educator, that's what you want. You want kids to grow where you're like, wow, that seems like it happened on accident. Because we're all spending our whole lives just trying as hard as we can to get kids to learn. And so TomoClub is that solution where you can say, hey, look, here's a safe environment where you can go play for a few minutes and learn something. And you're not learning from teachers either. It's peers. It's your friends that you're playing video games with, which that's what these kids are doing already, whether you think they are or not. So why not redeem the time? Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry to kind of go off on that. You're gonna understand more fully what we do as we go through the gameplay, and as Avnash and Chelsea. Do you want me to do you guys want me to introduce Pam and have her share, or do you want to introduce each one of us? Introduce her first.
I think let's get done with the introductions first, and then we'll give the mic to Pam. So
go ahead.
Yeah, Nish, you want to go next? And quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey, sorry, I was just juggling between two calls, so it's a little difficult for me to turn on my video. But hey, everyone, I'm Nish. I am currently working as an associate at StartEd. We're an EdTech accelerator, and I've spoken to Avinash before. But prior to StartEd, I was actually leading strategy for another SEL firm. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm just very curious about the space and see how some of these learnings are being implemented at the school level. So really excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Nish. Who else is left, I guess? Then over to Pam.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you so much. And what Matt said really resonated because the two things. It's not only peer-to-peer experiencing together, discovering perspectives, which we have in common with Respectful Ways and TomoClub. That's an ever so important aspect of it, because how are they to gain emotional intelligence, build up these neural pathways in the brain that are not being utilized. So it's so interesting to be using both sides of the brain as digital curriculum. We're both digital curriculum and digital experiences, but it doesn't stop with the just gaming concept. It is facilitated with an adult. So both our programs, this is why we fell in love. Both our programs are facilitate with an adult, with an educator. And that is completely logical, because if you've fed them the right questions, they know what to ask. They're not left hanging in case they don't know how to engage or what to say about this situation or that. And then, so that's this tier. And then they have each other, the children have each other as perspective to gain knowledge. And someone who's literally been in a classroom, 4 seats down, you know nothing about that child, you all of a sudden discover things that you have in common. So social and emotional learning is proven effective to help gain academic achievements as well. So it's building up both sides of the brain that are so imbalanced right now. And I could get into statistics. I don't know if you guys know them or not, but the benefits and how SEL improves standardized test scores, which, hello, you know that this is a win-win, right? Because there are many administrators and educators who that is the bottom dollar. That is their why. And you need to have a benefit that's not only developing emotional intelligence, their social skills, but their academic achievements as well. So there you have it. It's a blessing. It's a win-win-win, if you will.
Win. Thank you so much, Pam, for sharing. There's something that I just wanted to I want to get to the game session, because we don't want to defraud you all by just chit-chatting forever. But I did want to let you guys know, check out respectfulways.com. Pam is I fell in love with Pam while we were part of Social Emotional Learning USA. It's an initiative to promote SEL across the United States as something that is important. And so we have a lot of common goals. Check out her website. I really loved that in other meetings I've been at with her, that she really does start with the student first, but she has these four, the CPR: compassion, persevere, respect, and responsibility. And I just loved what you're doing in education, Pam. I want to give you just a quick second to sort of give yourself a plug, and then just have everybody go to your website and then jump into the gameplay. And then maybe if everybody has questions for what you do at the end of the session, we could jump back in, if that would be all right. Can I turn it over to Pam and then to Chelsea?
That sounds great. Thank you so much,
Sure.
Matt. I really appreciate it. It is about collaboration. I am all about partnerships. And this was a natural blend, if you will, because Respectful Ways is pre-K through 12th grade digital curriculum for students that's trauma informed, which means all children feel safe and comfortable learning. It's phrased in a way that does not trigger shame, does not trigger fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, does not trigger embarrassment or anger, because then you lose the child. It's all about science and brain development, not just brain development. It's the entire nervous system is involved, you guys. When you're releasing cortisol because you're a stressed kid, and you have a high ACE score, adverse childhood experiences, difficult childhood, it's your kidneys that are releasing the cortisol into your blood. It's the whole nervous system that gets involved. So what we here at Social and Emotional Learning in big picture are here to actually develop skills where they can have self-confidence, self-esteem, all while having fun. So we made our programming very musical. We have 2 musicians on staff. We have hundreds of poems, because poems can turn into spoken word. And I love hearing the stories from our schools where the educators are talking about how they're like, why are these kids banging on their desk? And they'll back up. The administrator just told me the story, looking through the window, and they realize that they've got our music up. So this is how you can spread the wealth of making sure that we're involving them in the interests that they have, like gaming for you, music, the spoken word poetry analysis, and just the fun games. We anything digital they love and they want to participate. What's behind door number 2? It's all about clicking and opening that next question or that next info, and then again sharing with each other. That's how we're also collaborating. That's how we're so similar in programs, is that it's not done in a vacuum. It's done with each other. So those perspectives are gained, that social awareness is gained, the idea of conflict resolution. They could be kids who are angry at each other because of cyberbullying that happened on Snapchat on the weekend. And then they've got to sit in class together and learn these skills about conflict resolution, or self-regulation. Huge.
Yeah.
So that's us in a nutshell. And I thank you for having me here, because I really think that we're logical together.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you so much, Pam. Yeah. So I also would love to jump in for a quick 2 minutes. So what we analyzed the entire market in the US is SEL has been here for a while. It's been here for almost 25 years. And the problem with the implementation part has been that it became a job of the English educator in most of the cases, right? And they have to decide whether how to complete the English curriculum or the SEL curriculum. So it end up becoming very passively treated, and even the kids were not drawing any major learnings out of it. So one thing that we came to a conclusion that the current SEL curriculums have been failing a lot in giving direct instructions or in giving measurable outcomes. So that was the first problem statement we identified. And the second one was the engagement piece, right? I think all of us throughout our life have been learning through examples, have been learning through stories, have been learning through experiences. So that was the main objective of Tomo Club, to give them experiences through a collaboration. And what I've realized till now is games bring our true selves out, right? I think whenever we have done the games, it breaks down the barrier of hesitation, of unknowingness, and you come all on the same platform, same level, and talk about it. So what we have done is we have been working with almost 5 schools now in the US, and these SEL curriculum that we have implemented, we provide a moderator as well. Well, in some of the cases with schools, we have trained the educator, but again, the major problem is that it's usually 1,000:1 or 500:1 ratio of an SEL coordinator. That's end up again impossible for them to handle, right? So I think all these insights came together, and that's why we have been really blessed with so many success stories coming our way now, where parents have been talking about that their kids are being less frustrated, they are being more patient. And the major skill that we target are actually only three, because HCL is a huge domain. So we target leadership first, and it has a lot of sub skills of how to be a good listener, how to be making better strategy and critically think. Second is emotional intelligence. I think it's more about understanding from the point of view the one in the front is coming from. And third is innovation. So innovation is about problem solving collaboratively, right? You can't innovate just in a silos. You have to test out the market. You have to talk to people about it. So that's why what we evaluate also, we call it a snapshot after a session, which will be shared for everyone joined today as well, of how they did well on three main skills: leadership, innovation, and emotional intelligence. So I think that's the whole point. We want to create more awareness around it. And we have been very blessed till now to get the success. And of course, all of you, you have kids in your family. I would love to, if you can reach out again after this session. In fact, I'll reach out to everyone if you want to have a trial demos or you want to just experience how Tomo Club works. So open to that. So now quickly handing over the mic to Chelsea, and I want to play the game. Come on, let's do that.
Yeah, thank you, Avinash. I see Samir's hand is still raised. Is there anything before we get into the game session? Would love to hear your thoughts.
I was sharing my thoughts on the chat, so
Okay.
that's fine.
All
I've
right.
shared it. It's long story short is like I've been always thinking about having this play date concept, and
Yeah.
whichever companies I spoke to when I was with Cognizant, I always told them that we need something like this because it's if I get three kids together and tell them this is how you play a game, they'll just do it. And I'm talking it from my own experience. I just posted that my 4-year-old daughter and my neighbor's son, who is 3-year-old, uh, when we say it's a play date, they'll just leave everything and they just want to go and play with that kid. And then we have this thing that, uh, fortunately, our neighbor is a nanny. So she knows like what games to give,
Yeah.
and they'll just play. And we get to sit and drink wine and eat cheese. So I just felt that I'm not I'm not terribly opposed to the concept of online gaming. Yes, as Pam said, there is curiosity that leads to learning, and it is a great tool. But I would say that if Tomo Club can come out with offline products that also help collaborative learning, that would be great. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that, Samir, and great ideas
And
there.
I'll lower my.
Yeah, thank you again. All right. Because as a teacher, if I see a hand raised, I have to ask what's up. Right?
Great. Thanks.
Yeah. So today, would love for everyone to put on their student hats now. We're just going to delve into a short game round. It's going to be a 15-minute round where we're going to be playing for 10 minutes. And the first 5 minutes is just for us to explore how we're going to get in and, just the onboarding bit. But the game is about, it's called the Crisis Crew, right? I'm going to share the link in just a bit. It's called the Crisis Crew, and it's a sci-fi themed co-op game where players take on the role of the first responders. And teams of 2 to 3 players explore a high security, top secret military facility that was evacuated due to unusual activity, right? So what you're going to be doing is that you're going to be helping each other out to get to the flag point. You have to collect keys and you have to take care of where your teammates are. You need to get them out. There are these different contraptions that you'll try to figure out. And there's also, there would be control panels on different parts of the map, right? And that's how you're going to be exploring it. So we're going to get into only one round. However, in a game session or in a game round with the kids, we have 3 rounds of gameplay, right? So just for this session, just to give you an overview of what we do, we're going to have 1 round, right? And would request everyone to be on a laptop or a desktop because you would require keys, right, to move around. A quick thumbs up would be really helpful if everyone's on a laptop. Okay, perfect. And I've shared the link in the chat box. Just click on the link. And once it opens, click on Run Game. Then put in your username. Once you put in your username, select the build as player. Just toggle between using the arrows and select the region as Europe.
I always like to remind everyone that once we go from Zoom to the game, you want to keep your browser tab active because we'll switch from Zoom to back to Chrome and back and forth. So keep your browser tab active.
Yeah. And now just click on join and put in the room number 230. Okay. I see Rashi and I see John in. I see Harshit in. Try being active on the browser so that I
You
can.
said 230, correct?
For some reason.
When I click confirm, network connection failed.
Yeah, same for me.
Network.
Yeah, same for me too.
Okay. Yeah, let me help you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Sai, can we help them out, please? Sai?
Yeah, I'll just take them.
Yeah. So right.
I'm not able to access it. It's blocked by my school. So
Yeah. If it's a work laptop, that tends to happen. But what we'll do regardless is that we'll share our screen, right? For those who are unable to play right now, so that you're able to see what the others are doing. Right? So you'll be able to spectate in the meanwhile.
God, I'm not able.
Yeah? Would that be all
I'm
right?
so bummed. I just repopulated it and went through and clicked, and I'm in Europe, and I'm a player. I made sure I was there, and it's just get your room ID from your moderator 230. I'm clicking confirm, and it makes the noise, and now it says network connection failed.
Okay.
But I definitely have internet.
That's okay. I'll give you another room ID. That won't be a problem. Yeah. Okay. So for Rashi, Samir, and Anshu, I'm putting you guys in your respective rooms. And Harshit, and we've got John as well. Right. So I'm going to put you guys into your rooms. And the rest, I'm going to give you all another room ID. Right. So John, Matt, and Harshit are together. Rashi and Samir and Anshu are together. Right. Okay. So I'm going to quickly get you all into your breakout rooms. And yeah, just join the breakout room. And as soon as you're into the breakout room, just make sure that you're clicking on the browser again where the game is.
Unmute yourself in Zoom.
Yeah, perfect. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to put everyone in. And yeah. So the rest of you, I'm going to give you another Zoom link. Sorry, another room ID. So the room number is 662. Let me know if it's working. No. Would you be able to click on the link again, Pam? Would that be possible for you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing.
Okay, I'll
Yes.
share the link with you in the chat box.
Username.
There you go. So Kimberly, Soumya,
What's the room ID again, Chelsea?
it's 662. I'm going to share my screen so that you're able to see how and what they're doing during the gameplay. Okay, Nisha's in.
This makes no sense. It was fine before I did it. 662.
Yeah.
662. Network connection failed. Connection to the game server could not be achieved. Please check internet connection or connect to a different region. So
Right.
my internet is definitely here because we're together. Should I try instead of Chrome? Should I jump on Microsoft Edge?
No, I think Chrome would be the best actually. I'm not very sure why that's happening, but would that be okay if we start the game with Avinash and Nish and I'm going to share my screen? Would that be all right? Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll play the game together. Don't worry about that.
We did. We had
I'll take our time for you. Avinash, can you please join the room, please? Join as a player so that Nish can also get it. Yeah. And in the meanwhile, I'm just going to show my screen and I'll tell you what all's happening here. This is what's going on in the other team's game round. I see Nish here. Okay, I'm getting Avinash in. Avinash, please ensure that you're active on the browser. That's it. Because you're playing.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, I'm starting the game for the two of you. So I'll just, okay, I think you can stay here in the meanwhile.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Let me unmute myself. So yeah,
I'm going to stop sharing and
I think Nish, we are together. So hi Nish, can you see me?
I can see you, yes.
Yeah, so I am just collecting different keys and we have to together cross the path. You can also zoom out at the bottom left. Can you see?
Yep.
So we have to go to the extreme end, right? So go and explore this. Yeah. What do you see? Okay, you just open it up for me. And now I'll hold it for you. I'll hold the door for you. Come on, cross it.
Got it. I'm here.
Yeah, perfect. So let's go together and close. Yeah, go and collect that key. Yeah. So we will not be able to cross the level. Yeah, unless we have both keys. Yeah, done. So level 1 was pretty easy. So let's go for level 2 now. Interesting. Okay, I got the light bulb.
see if I can.
So now we can see the entire map. So let me zoom out. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting level. Where are you, Nishia? You're there. So you know the controller that you have, you can move the wheel. You can move the wheel with that. And I think let me out first, I guess. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, can you? Oh, perfect, perfect. Let's collect all the keys quickly. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I can hold the door for you now. You can come down. Yeah. Come to the center part. Hold on. Okay. I have to move it anti-clockwise. So I'll press. Yeah. Now you go. Go down. Oh, we
I
have
think you
left a
have to
key
do
up.
one more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Nish, you have to again come to the center. I will move it again, and you can go up and collect all the keys on the upside. Yes. Go on the left. Oh, nice. There's one on the right too. Yeah. Perfect. Yes, got it. Now come to the center again. I'll move it again for you. Wait. Yeah. Now we can both come down.
One
Go
more.
for it,
Yep.
Nish. Yes. Yeah. Done. Let's quickly go. So every round we have like limited time. Got it. Yes. Done. Nice. So it's gonna get more complicated now.
You'll have to take it a little slower because Avinash should have
Yeah.
proven this. Let's give Nish a chance to
No,
just
we
cover it
Yes.
once.
it's
Yeah.
we're doing some good teamwork over here.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. No doubt about that.
Hey, Nish, can you find the bulb? Because unless we have the bulb on, we can't see the entire map.
Yeah, I see the ball.
Hold on. But I can't go on the other side. See, that's a problem. Even if I know I've played it multiple times, I'll be still competitive. Okay. Okay, I have one lever. Um, Nish, go for. Wait. Let me open it up for you.
Yep.
Yeah, you can pass it on. Come back. Yeah. Nice. Go down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Take a right. Yes. Go straight. Okay, there's nothing there. Let's wait. Which number is it? Is it 3?
3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Open it up for you. Pass it along. Yes, there's a button. Oh, finally I can see the map now clearly. Oh yeah, go up, Nish, go up. I'll open that tube as well. Oh, have
Number
you
2.
stopped the game?
No, I'm on number 2.
Okay, hold on. I think Chelsea stopped the game at my end.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see you in it.
Yeah.
We're getting everyone back actually.
Okay.
Sorry about the
I will
mid-level.
enjoy playing.
Yeah, sorry about the mid-level interruption.
Yeah. Pause. See, that's the whole point. In these games, the moderator has the full control.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So till till everything's still happening, they've got 2 minutes of gameplay yet still left. And the reason why I stopped
okay.
at level 3 was because that's what I wanted you guys to explore, right? And I'll just share my screen and I'll show you what sort of controls I have as a moderator as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can toggle between the rooms. I can see what's going on. I can see who's the
leaderboard.
Yeah. So we can see the leaderboard. Sorry, we just received a message on the chat box, in the chat box. So I can see all that. I can pause the game for any of the arenas. So if I want to pause the game for everyone, I just have to click on the pause button, but I won't do that yet. We just have a minute left. Then if I want to pause the game for, say, Arena 1, all that I have to do is click on the pause button for Arena 1. Then if I want to restart the game for any arena, this is all that I have to do.
Yeah.
Right? And if I want to get everyone to the lobby, that is, I want the game to restart for everyone, or I want to give them a new level, right? All that I have to do is I have to get them back to the lobby, right? And of course, if I want them to skip a level, I can always do that. We've got that option as well. So yeah, that's primarily from our end, and that's what the moderators can see, that's what the moderators can explore. And yeah, what you'll see, what you're seeing right now is them struggling to figure out how to get to the end point. What they've not explored yet is that there's a zoom out button where they can see the opponent, right? They can see, not their opponents, sorry, their teammates. They can see them, and then they can all figure out to come together to the flag point, right? Which is this. And yeah, so we'll end the game in another 30 seconds. Which team are you guys rooting for? The one with John and Harshit, or Rashi, Samir, and Anshu?
Always the underdog.
Which one though? I mean, I didn't
One
even...
at a low score.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
A1 is at 47.
got it. And we're going to pause the game in 3, 2, 1, and yeah. All right. So we pause the game and we're getting everyone back. Now, this is what we see at our end, right? Like when we're getting kids onboarded, this is what we see. All that we have to do is get them into the respective arenas and breakout rooms. So let me see if I can quickly close the breakout rooms and get them all back. We're sorry you couldn't
So
play
while I've been,
Pam, but I was really excited to make you play the game, definitely. But I'm glad you were able
yeah.
to watch. Same with you, Soumya and Kimberly.
You know, it's also fun to watch because you're sort of like a spectator. You're rooting them on. I was just like, no, you're still gonna go that way. You know.
Yeah. So one thing I've analyzed while working with a lot of educators now, that they are tired of training, right? Literally every new curriculum, every new program, and hours of training that they have to do. So one thing that all the educators told us was, please make sure the activation should be a breeze. It should be as easy as possible and as intuitive. So that's what we do is with every game, we have a very simplified lesson plan, which they can, use and refer. And the game moderator setup and all is also very simple so that it doesn't need a lot of training, right? Kids do it, so should we. And yeah, I think that is one of the key points that has been working out with parents, sorry, with educators as of now.
Absolutely. Would love to know or would love to understand how was this round for you? What are the big feelings that you're feeling? And yeah, the space is open. Let's start with
First,
yeah, go
Samir.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend color notes because my 4-year-old daughter is attracted to pink. So if the key is not pink in color, she'll not be interested. I'm telling you. Regarding the complexity of the game, I think probably it's good for like maybe 8 or 10-year-olds because they can picture, maybe not for my daughter. I'll end up playing most of the games if
Yeah.
this was given to. Those are the 2 points. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Samir. Also, we do cater to to the age group of 8 to 18, right? So definitely, but this is again a game that comes later in the month, right? It does come in the first month, but it's something that comes, say, in the 4th session or the 3rd session. So yeah, it starts with a simpler game and then progresses in terms of even working through the executive functioning as well.
And just to give you some feedback, my daughter does play the games that Google.com puts on certain days. Like
Oh, nice.
on St. Patrick's Day, they had something to do with getting beer or something. She enjoyed playing that. Or
Nice.
anything that has dinosaurs in it. That's fun. So
Interesting.
it's not that, uh, I mean, this game might be complicated to her because she doesn't know how to use the keyboard.
Right.
But these days, a lot of laptops are touchscreen. So if anything, you can just use a finger, that would be great.
Right. Thanks for your feedback, Samir. We'll keep that into consideration for sure.
Yeah, so I think I like the entire interface of how the game was designed and how easy it was to navigate through. And I particularly like the collaborative features that have been added in the game, that one person has to be standing, all of us need to have one big picture view, and one person needs to be standing at the control console, and for the rest of us to like all of us to complete the game. So yeah, but I think I only have like good feedback about this, nothing critical. Thanks.
We appreciate that, Rashi. Definitely, one thing that you pointed out is a learning that we try to imbibe through this game also, right? It's about having a zoomed out perspective in certain aspects in life. So yeah,
Yes.
thank you for sharing.
Also, like you also, there are some certain, I don't know if it's a bug or a feature, but then some cells work when one person goes at a time and
Yeah.
not all of us together.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
had a quick, yeah. Is there like a huddle feature like how we just did on Zoom so that me and Avinash could coordinate? But I know if someone's playing it remotely or not together on Zoom, is there a way that they can actually communicate using words?
So right now we do it completely moderated, right? Like, so if it's a session that we're having, there's going to be a moderator who's regulating the entire session and moderating it for them, right? Just to ensure the safety of kids. Of course, with adults, that can be like, I don't think we've considered that as an issue yet, right? Or a concern yet, because we've not tapped into that age group yet again. But definitely with the age groups that we work with, a moderator is definitely required at all times throughout the game session. So yeah. But that's again a good feedback for us to take.
I mean, just another feedback, if the same game was enabled for touchscreen, like instead of using the arrow keys, if I could just use the finger, then even lower groups can play that.
Yeah.
Because my daughter, she draws pictures using MS Paint on my laptop, and she just uses the touchscreen. So if I tell her that just follow this tunnel with your finger, she'll follow it. And then I don't have to play the game for her.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, Sumit. Absolutely. Making it touchscreen is definitely something that is already in our pipeline and we're working towards it. Thank you. Any other thoughts from those who were able to spectate it, and what was going on in your mind when you were looking at what the people were doing, right? Like you couldn't hear them actually, but what was your insight into the entire setup of the game, and what do you think? What sort of skills do you think the kids would be taking back from this game?
I would like to take a jab on that particular question. I particularly liked the fact where there are times I would have to rely on my team members to get to get to the next level, but that there are also times where I would have to take the lead and go to the console and wait there so that the other team member or can make it through the tunnel. I liked that particular aspect of the game. So the collaborative aspect was definitely there for me, and being a leader doesn't always involve taking the lead, but also taking a step back in order to let other members lead in your team. I think that was something that was a big takeaway from me.
Thank you for sharing that, Anshu. And that's definitely something that we try to also speak about during the session. Like how do you have to collaborate with people? And you don't always have to be the talkative one if you're the leader, right? Like you don't always have to be the one speaking, even if you're leading. So thank you.
Make a comment.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a comment, and that I would say the biggest thing for youth, especially playing online, the problem they have most is the whole turn taking. So how do you establish whose turn it is? Because I mean, a lot of your leaders, you know who they are when they're young. You see it, you know it. They're going to take over because they know how to approach the problem. So how are you establishing each person having a turn so everyone's heard?
Yeah. So I'll just give you an overview of what a month would look like, right, at TomoClub. So the first game that we play is played twice, and that's basically a turn-taking game where you can see the name of the child coming up, right? It's called the First Settlers. Now, in the First Settlers, it's again a turn-taking game, and first they just have to place the tiles in a particular order. They have to communicate with their peers. But again, that's how we start building turn taking, right? And again, depending on the need of each child, and that's something that we try to do with the what we call teacher assistants and the moderators that we have to understand what is the requirement for each child and then providing that space for them. So even the cohorts that are formed right now are formed very strategically, right? So if we know that there's a child who has say concerns with just turn taking, right? We'll place them with a child who probably would help them cope better with it, right? Or they might be, or at least for this particular game, there's no particular turn taking if you realize, right? If you've noticed, no one's no one is the leader per se, but they're just natural leaders. And as you mentioned, that's something that you just identify in the way that they're talking, right? But what this game enables is even those who are unable to voice their opinions, or those who they just are on the quieter end of the spectrum, that they'll have to ask their peers to get them out of the lobby or get them out of one area to another, right? So I think overall, at some point or the other, because it's a very scaffolded sort of fashion that we play this game with. Shanish, thank you. So just because it's a very scaffolded way that this game is played in, that realization that everyone has to play a part just comes in. It's a very natural sort of trajectory that is taken. I don't think we've had a problem yet in terms of turn taking with this game. Yeah. But thank you for that lovely question. Definitely, I mean, I think I was able to form a train of thought just based off that question. Thank you.
I think I would like to bring that the moderator also has a control on time, so she can set up the time limit for each level. So right now, Chelsea gave us enough time to not think about it, and we were more comfortable. But in a complicated levels, as we do the round 3 or round 4, she's gonna make it, let's say, 1 minute round, and then at that time, I think one of the skills which I've identified in case is active listening. That I think being a good listener is very, very underrated. So that skill we can, I would say, bring up when we cut down the time limit for each session. So yeah, that's how we can, do a lot of, combinations of gameplay.
Okay. Now we'll just leave the after this game round, and I know energies are usually high after a game round, but now we're just leaving the space open for any questions that we have regarding Tomo Club or regarding respectful ways as well, right? So yeah, the space is open for you. Right.
So I think as an educator, my question is that these games and the programs that we have developed are a part of the solution. But when it comes to SEL, the problem has to be identified first, that there is a need, there is a glaring need, which we have very comfortably ignored forever now. So how do you bring people to the same page of the problem?
You want me to share?
Go ahead, man.
It's been difficult because it's hard. It's first of all hard for any parent or educator to admit that their kid or their student has deficiencies in leadership, innovation, collaboration, or any of these skills that we're all saying, hey, these are vital skills that you cannot accomplish life successfully without. And since it hasn't been a primary focus of just English or math, it becomes this secondary issue. but what our challenge is as TomoClub and as social emotional learning advocates in this world are really, we have to start by educating the teachers and those that are teaching the kids with what the priority really is. Go ahead, Chelsea.
I'd like to just add one more thing. I mean, this question that you just asked us, we had a session a while back with Mr. Randall Fujimoto, right? And one thing that he also was talking about, and this was definitely a question that we had, right? If this is just a part of a solution, what is the problem, right? Or how do you communicate that uh, using a pedagogical tool like games to enhance or enable SEL is definitely a missing gap, right? And one thing that Mr. Randall had spoken to us about was definitely this, that at the end of the day, if there's something that is getting kids engaged, right? Because no one likes to be told whether they're right or wrong, right? Nor we as adults, nor we as kids would like to be told that we're right or wrong, right? But we require a sort of medium that helps us learn very unconsciously, right? And if not unconsciously, in a very say natural sort of order. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm answering your question very correctly, but this is my understanding that at the end of the day, what Matt said is educating the adults regarding games as a pedagogical tool is definitely important, and associating that with SEL, because SEL has had a bad reputation over the last few years, right, in totality. And I'm sure Miss Kimberly would be a good person to speak about this, about how SEL has taken a bash, right, in the last couple of years, and even Pam. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it engaging, we're trying to make it fun, but we're not forgetting about the learning aspect of social and emotional skills. Right?
Yeah. I think that helps. Play-based learning is the
Game-based.
principle that we should be chasing. Right.
Exactly. Right. And you should definitely check out the work of Mr. Randall Fujimoto. It gave us also a sort of pathway to understanding what we're doing much better.
Okay. Please write the name in the chat as well. Thanks.
Yeah. Yes, Anil, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I was unmuting. So you mentioned about educating adults, and so Tomo Club is all about kids education and specific to SEL.
Yeah.
But is the Tomo Club's think tank thinking about setting up a program for adult education? And when I say adult education, it's specific, like a kind of a support group program to handle school shooting
Yeah.
incidents. I mean, my wife had a sleepless night after Nashville, Tennessee, and she always have like sleepless nights in a row. And yesterday we were talking about it, and she did mention that the amount of time and effort and money and emotions we put in raising a child, and then the child goes to school and such things happen. So I suggested that, hey, how about join some kind of support group and see if talking to people who have the same concern can help us handle this issue emotionally first. I don't know if there's any solution practical out there. I'm sure the schools are doing a lot, but I thought like maybe Tomo Club could come out with some kind of program. I mean, just not work on a play date feature, but also like a support program or just a small circle for parents that, hey, if you want to talk something that concerns you about schools, here is the forum.
Yeah. I would like to take that. Of course, on the violence part, I would love to have Pam and Kimberly's opinion as well on how do they process it and how do they tell parents to process it. But from the Tomo class point of view, what we do is we realize that SEL is a very individualized thing. We can teach it in a classroom, skills, but how it's been perceived and how it's been processed is very individualized. So what we do is after every session, we send a snapshot report, and that snapshot has kids assessment. Plus, it also has some resources for parents to look into it. And those resources can be some YouTube videos to watch together with the kid or by themselves. to know more about those skills when they can. So it's like we're trying to educate them as well along with kids. That is one. And of course, at the same time, we do have our Facebook community as well as some people are active on Slack community so that they know and help us build the program while it's happening. And so I think Chelsea can also share that assessment report to have a visualization of how it looks like. But on the, yeah, here it is. But on the gun shooting part and how that can help, I would love to have Kimberly's and Pam's opinion on that. But Chelsea, you can just quickly go through the assessment report first.
Thanks, Sai.
Sure.
Thanks,
I
Anish.
mean, sorry. I was so what I was planning to address that I had heard from a big picture point of view is about how what Chelsea spoke of as how social and emotional learning has been raked through the coals lately. And there's a small but mighty group of very loud parents that are able to, really influence in a negative way. But the majority of parents and the majority of educators feel that there is a place for social and emotional learning to be taught in schools. It's just, and that a lot of times I sit on the SEL Providers Association Council, and a lot of times there are many state governments who will be pandering to their state about how they feel about critical race theory, etc., but that actually it never leaves committee and there was no intention to pass law. It's a bit of a bait and switch often. So I just wanted to talk about that. And then forgive me, what was the other question about that you had just asked, Avanish?
Yeah, that's it. That last sentence.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. I hope that was helpful.
And this is the resource section which Chelsea is trying to bring up.
Yeah, so what you can see here is a snapshot that we call in terms of an assessment report. So we don't share a bar graph right away in the first month or the second month, right? Right after the entire month is done with, then we share a complete report that is sent to the parents where we tell them about what they've done, how the kids have grown in different aspects, right? Especially on the competencies that we focus on. And what you see here is just a snapshot of what the session entailed, which game they played, what the moderator had to say, right? So just the moderator's inputs into what their behavior was like, how were they doing on the different competencies. And yeah, what we were also able to do, at least for one of them, was to share a short video clip of how the child is saying that it's all right to not win sometimes, because at the end of the day nobody is perfect, right? And this is the same child who had problems with turn taking in the first and second session. So not just turn taking in terms of also interacting with their peers, and there were a couple of things that we were working on with this child. So definite. And the last part is collaboration and in action, where we talk about the different resources that we share with the parents to have conversations with their kids around, right? So it's always associated with what has been taught during the session. Pardon me. So because we played a game on resource management, and that was a conversation that we were having, we've shared a short conversation starter with the parent along with a short video.
Hey, Chelsea, can I jump in for a second while you're here? Would you just stay right on this page? I want to share something with y'all, because this is Dante and this is anecdotal. But I was on the phone with Dante's mom yesterday and talking with her, and I don't know if IEP is a national thing. It is a California thing if you have a kid who has learning difficulties. And this individual's mom said, hey, look, we're pulling Dante off of his IEP because TomoClub has given him the ability to to check off whatever the boxes are in his IEP and difficulties that he was having in processing information and learning has totally changed because of TomoClub. And the reason I bring that up is we're saying, hey, well, are we going to have to assess the symptoms of these kids so that we can find out where they're lacking and where we can meet their needs and teach them social emotional learning and emotional intelligence? Can we teach them these things? Do we need to address these symptoms? We're doing that in Dante's life. We're addressing the symptom that his mom has. The reason they're using TomoClub is so that he could develop these skills, and he's doing it. But what I want to communicate that we do at TomoClub is we don't want to take teenagers who are already deficient in a lot of areas and just help them. We want to take and teach kids life skills before they encounter all of these issues and before we're having to address just the symptoms. And I'm not going to go on and on, but I've seen my kids learn life skills like opportunity cost and things that I've tried to teach them over time. They've learned in TomoClub early, the things that we learned late. And so can we address symptoms? Is the solution that what we are for is to encounter kids early in their life and give them skills and to be able to influence their friends in the world around them. But Dante's done that specifically. Sorry, Chelsea, to jump in there.
No, not at all, man. And I think I found it very unrealistic, right? Like the first time that Avinash told me that, I literally had goosebumps. It might sound like an exaggeration, but definitely because the kind of I think trajectory that this child has taken, we didn't expect it, right? We were giving the sessions as per what we thought was best for them, right? This was not a conversation that we had, even though we had an entire assessment filled out, we had an entire form filled out by the parents. This was not something that was communicated openly with us, right? Or directly with us. And to have, that sort of that sort of feedback coming to us based off of just 6 sessions, right? Not more, not less, only 6 sessions. I mean, I think that's what has kept us going. That's what is like getting us to keep improving. Right? And it still sounds very unrealistic and exaggerated to me. But knowing that she'll be a parent who'll be speaking in a conference vouching for what we've been doing, I think that's the biggest win that we've had till date. Yeah. So, yeah. And that's it from my end. Again, would love to answer any other questions that any of you have that we can also take this off this call and have a separate call with you. But in the meanwhile, I'll still be sharing a poll. So would request everyone to take about 2 minutes to just fill up this poll. It gives us an understanding to, whether on how we can improve a play and learn session. And we thank all of you for your interaction, for the lovely questions that all of you had, and for just helping us think more, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much. I've got to jump. I appreciate this very much. It was wonderful for Respectful Ways to be a part of this session, you guys.
Yeah.
And we
doing an amazing job, right? Like, let's give a round of applause for Pam and all the lovely work that she does and her organization does. So thank you, Pam, for taking out time and being chief guest for today.
Absolutely. And I look forward to connecting to you and you and you and you.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.